Every morning, millions of us reach for our vitamins with good intentions. We believe we're doing something right, protecting our health, investing in our future. A simple habit, a daily ritual that feels like self-care. But what if I told you that four of the most common supplements in your cabinet might actually be doing the opposite? What if they were quietly draining your energy, stiffening your arteries, and slowly dampening your vitality without you even realizing it? This isn't a wild theory or internet scare tactic. It's a real issue that's affecting thousands of people over 60 who are doing everything by the book. They eat clean, stay active, and take their vitamins religiously, yet still struggle with constant fatigue, cold hands and feet, and a sense of intimacy that fades like background noise. Sound familiar? When we dig deeper, the answer isn't always aging. It's not laziness or lack of effort either. It's something far more unexpected, and ironically, something we trust completely: our supplements. Yes, some vitamins like calcium and B12 can be absolute game changers when used appropriately. They've saved lives and supported longevity. But here's the uncomfortable truth: when taken in high doses or at the wrong time, some vitamins don't just stop helping, they actively hurt, and the risk doesn't apply to just anyone. As we get older, our bodies change how they process nutrients. That means what worked for you at 35 might backfire at 65. So if you're over 60 or caring for someone who is, it's time to take a closer look at what's really going on behind those healthy labels. Today, we're going to expose the four most problematic culprits: nutrients that may be sitting quietly in your kitchen or bathroom right now. Ones that scientific research has shown can lower your stamina, tighten your blood vessels, and silently dull your sexual energy. We'll break down exactly how they affect your body, and more importantly, what to do instead. This isn't about fear, it's about freedom, about taking back control of your energy, your performance, and the joy of feeling alive. Let's start with the one supplement almost every older adult is told to take: vitamin D. It's everywhere. It's promoted as essential. Doctors recommend it. Pharmacies feature it in eye-catching displays. And it's called the sunshine vitamin for good reason. It plays a critical role in bone health, immune strength, and mood regulation. But here's what most people never hear. Unlike vitamin C, which is water-soluble and leaves your body naturally if there's too much, vitamin D is fat-soluble. That means your body stores it sometimes for months. It doesn't flush out easily. So if you're taking high daily doses, especially on top of what you get from vitamin D fortified foods like cereal or milk, that vitamin can slowly build up to toxic levels without you feeling a thing, until it's too late. Once vitamin D levels go above 150 nanograms per milliliter, it sets off a dangerous chain reaction. Your calcium levels skyrocket, your kidneys get overwhelmed, and your nervous system starts to falter. What may begin as mild fatigue or numbness in your hands can spiral into confusion, nausea, poor circulation, and even long-term damage. Let me give you a real example. A 75-year-old man came in barely functioning. He was exhausted, mentally foggy, and hadn't eaten properly for weeks. His family was worried. After some tests, we discovered his vitamin D levels were more than 6 times the safe upper limit, 306 nanograms per milliliter. He had been receiving high-dose vitamin D3 injections totaling over 4 million IU. His kidneys were in acute distress. His calcium was dangerously high. His parathyroid hormone had completely shut down. It took 7 months of hospitalization, careful monitoring, and 0 supplements just to stabilize him, and the damage could have been permanent. This condition is called hypercalcemia, when excess vitamin D causes your calcium to flood your bloodstream. And it doesn't just mess with digestion, it interferes with hormonal signals throughout your body. Here's what that looks like. Your brain's hormone control center. The pituitary gland starts sending weaker signals. One key hormone, luteinizing hormone LH, drops. That's the hormone that tells your body to make testosterone. As testosterone declines, so does your sexual desire, your muscle strength, your stamina, and even your drive to stay active. At the same time, calcium begins depositing in your arteries, making them less flexible and more narrow, limiting blood flow to vital areas, including the pelvic region. And then there's your nervous system. It loses its balance. You feel foggy, unmotivated, maybe even a little off. Your sleep suffers, your clarity fades. This isn't just about hormones, it's about the whole picture of what makes you feel vital, sharp, and alive. Here's the scary part: most people don't even realize they're taking too much. Walk into any drugstore and pick up a bottle of vitamin D, you'll see doses like 10,000 IU, even 50,000 IU. But did you know that the recommended daily allowance for men over 70 is just 800 IU? That's right, 800 IU. Now imagine taking a multivitamin in the morning, a bone health tablet at lunch, and a vitamin D capsule at night. That's 3 separate sources, stacked. And studies show that some of those supplements contain more vitamin D than what's listed on the label. So even if you're trying to be careful, you could still be overdosing. The safe upper limit, 4,000 IU per day. And most older adults do just fine with 1,002 IU, but only if your blood levels confirm you need it. Here's what you should do before taking another pill. Ask your doctor for a simple test called a 25-hydroxy vitamin D test. It can show whether your levels are low optimal or dangerously high. Don't guess test. Then adjust based on professional guidance, because your goal isn't to add more pills to your routine. It's to protect your energy, your circulation, and your vitality without unknowingly causing harm. And that starts with awareness. Coming up next, we're going to take a closer look at another popular supplement, one that's also fat-soluble, heavily marketed, and silently overloading your liver, your hormones, and your ability to connect. You might think it's good for your eyes, but it could be costing you something far more precious. Stick with me. This one's going to surprise you. And it might just change the way you look at your entire supplement routine. Too much vitamin D doesn't just lead to fatigue or digestive discomfort. It can quietly hijack the communication systems inside your body, especially the ones responsible for your sexual vitality, your circulation, and even your mental clarity. Here's what's really happening when vitamin D levels climb too high. Your brain's hormonal command center, the pituitary gland, starts to falter. This tiny but powerful organ reduces its output of luteinizing hormone, which is essential for triggering testosterone production. And when testosterone drops, it's like pulling the plug on your vitality. Your sex drive fades, your physical energy slips, your strength and confidence follow close behind. But that's just the beginning. Excess vitamin D causes calcium levels to spike in your blood. And where does that calcium go? Some of it ends up hardening in the walls of your blood vessels. Instead of staying soft and flexible, those vessels begin to stiffen, narrowing blood flow, especially in areas that matter most, like the pelvic region. The result: sluggish circulation, weaker arousal, and declining stamina. And then comes the fog. When your nervous system gets thrown off balance by mineral imbalances, your brain struggles to stay sharp. You feel foggy, drained, unmotivated. Sleep becomes erratic. You may even begin to feel like a duller version of yourself. Sexual vitality isn't just about hormones. It's also about energy, alertness, blood flow, and readiness, both physical and mental. And when all of those begin to decline together, it's hard to know where to even start. Meanwhile, your kidneys, the unsung heroes of balance, are working overtime. But they weren't designed to manage chronically elevated levels of calcium and electrolytes. As they struggle, everything else begins to wobble too: your hydration, blood pressure, and even muscle control. And all of those pieces are crucial for staying energized and maintaining intimacy as you age. Most people have heard that low vitamin D can be linked to erectile dysfunction. That's true. But what doesn't get talked about enough is the damage that happens when levels go too high. It's more subtle, slower, and harder to spot until you've already paid the price. And here's where things get even more dangerous. The problem isn't just the vitamin itself, it's how it's sold to you. Go to any pharmacy or online store and pick up a bottle of vitamin D. You'll find doses of 10,000 IU, even 50,000 IU per capsule. But for men over 70, the recommended daily amount is just 800 IU. That's right, just 800. Yet many people take these megadoses every day without ever checking their blood levels, without ever speaking to their doctor. It adds up quickly. A multivitamin at breakfast, a bone support supplement at lunch, a separate vitamin D capsule before bed. 3 different pills each with their own load of vitamin D stacked on top of each other without anyone realizing. And even worse, studies have shown that some over-the-counter supplements contain more vitamin D than the label actually says. So even if you think you're being careful, you might be getting more than you bargained for. So what's safe for most seniors, 1,000 to 2,000 nano-IU per day is enough if, and only if a doctor has confirmed you need it. The absolute safe upper limit is 4,000 IU per day. Going beyond that without medical supervision is like driving without brakes. You might be fine for a while, but the damage creeps up slow and silent. Before you take another dose of vitamin D, ask your doctor for a 25-hydroxy vitamin D blood test. It's quick and expensive and can save you from months or years of fatigue, poor circulation, and hormonal chaos. Don't guess. Test. Then make your decisions from there. What's next? Let's turn the spotlight to another supplement that's just as common and just as misunderstood. You've probably seen it on labels that promise sharper vision, glowing skin, and stronger immunity. It's one of the most praised vitamins in the supplement world. But behind the praise, there's a side of this nutrient that doesn't get enough attention. Let's talk about vitamin A. This one might surprise you. It's sold as a go-to for aging eyes and healthy skin. Many seniors start taking it to preserve what they have left. Better vision, better immunity, slower wrinkles. It sounds like a smart choice. But the truth is, vitamin A, especially in supplement form, is far more dangerous than most people realize. Like vitamin D, vitamin A is fat-soluble. That means your body doesn't flush out the extra like it does with vitamin C or B-complex vitamins. Instead, it stores it mostly in your liver, and that's where the problems begin. Unlike an allergic reaction or a food intolerance, your body won't ring any alarm bells when vitamin A begins to accumulate. There's no stabbing pain, no red rash, no obvious sign. Just a quiet, consistent buildup that gradually affects your organs, your hormones, and yes, even your ability to connect intimately. And while you're taking it every morning, believing it's helping you age gracefully, that silent overload is slowly interfering with the systems that regulate your energy, your mood, and your libido. Let's dig deeper into that in the next segment, because what you'll learn about vitamin A might make you rethink every vision or anti-aging supplement in your cabinet. He walked in quietly, almost apologetically. 65 years old, tired eyes, sore joints, a heaviness in his step that went beyond physical pain. What really troubled him wasn't just the fatigue or the stiffness. It was the growing emotional distance between him and his wife. He'd been doing what he thought was right, taking 25,000 IU of vitamin A every single day, hoping to preserve his skin, slow aging, and stay strong for the years ahead. But something wasn't right. His labs painted a very different picture. His liver enzymes were sky-high, well beyond safe limits. His vitamin A levels were 3 times the upper range, and most concerning of all, his testosterone levels had crashed. This man, who just months before had been full of life, now felt lost. Nausea, brain fog, aches, but none of it hurt as much as watching his marriage quietly fall apart and not knowing why. Even after he stopped taking the supplement, it took 6 full months for his liver to begin healing. But the effects on his sexual function, those lingered far longer. And here's the thing. His story isn't unusual. This is happening silently to men all across the country. High levels of vitamin A wreak havoc at the cellular level. It disrupts retinoid metabolism, the process your body uses to regulate growth, repair, and hormone balance. In men, that damage starts in the liver, the very place where vitamin A gets stored. Over time, the vitamin accumulates in specialized liver cells, leading to inflammation, scarring, and eventually interference with key hormone processes. One of the first casualties, sex hormone-binding globulin, a protein your body depends on to regulate testosterone. When the liver is overloaded, that regulation breaks down. Testosterone production drops, and the availability of what's left becomes even more limited. The result: low energy, poor circulation, and a fading connection with both your body and your partner. But the damage doesn't stop there. Inflammation from vitamin A toxicity spreads to your blood vessels. Circulation gets sluggish. Blood flow to essential organs, including your heart and sexual organs, declines. What once felt effortless now feels dull, distant, or just gone. And here's the twist: your body doesn't need much vitamin A to begin with. One medium carrot, just one, contains nearly double the daily amount your body actually needs. And that's vitamin A in its natural form, coming from food your body knows how to use. But instead, many people turn to supplements with labels that scream anti-aging, vision boost, or immune support. The fine print: 25,000 IU per capsule. That's more than 8 times the recommended amount for most adults. Add in a multivitamin and you've unknowingly overdosed day after day. The difference with fat-soluble vitamins like A and D is that they don't simply pass through you. Your body doesn't eliminate the excess. It stores it specifically in your liver, quietly, slowly, until one day the symptoms appear: sluggishness, aches, mood dips, and a dwindling interest in intimacy. And the cruelest part: those symptoms don't feel like vitamin toxicity. They feel like aging, so most people miss the connection entirely. Meanwhile, the supplement industry keeps selling. Their marketing teams push high-dose pills with bright labels and bold claims. But what they don't promote is the danger of overloading your body with synthetic concentrated forms of nutrients your system was never meant to handle in such isolation. That's why education matters. That's why this conversation matters. It's time to flip the script. If you're currently taking a vitamin A supplement, grab the bottle, read the label, check the dosage, and don't assume more equals better. Talk to your physician, get your blood levels checked. Because the real path to healthy aging doesn't come in megadoses, it comes in balance. And now, as we transition into the next piece of this puzzle, here's something that may catch you off guard. The next item on this list isn't even a vitamin, it's a mineral, one that's widely praised as a solution for fatigue, one that's printed in bold letters across multivitamin bottles. Energy blends and post-surgery recovery packs, especially those marketed to men over 60. We're talking about iron. The message is everywhere: if you're feeling tired, just take more iron. The logic seems sound. Iron helps your blood carry oxygen, it supports energy, it's essential for preventing anemia. But here's the truth. Most healthy men past midlife don't actually need more iron. In fact, many already have too much. Unlike some nutrients that your body can easily excrete, excess iron doesn't have an easy exit strategy. Once it's in your system, your body holds onto it, quietly, relentlessly. It accumulates in your liver, heart, and pancreas, and over time, that storage becomes toxic. The condition is called hemochromatosis, iron overload, and it's far more common in men than women. Why? Because women lose iron through menstruation, but men don't have that built-in outlet. And with age, testosterone levels drop, which removes a natural buffer that once helped regulate iron balance. It's a perfect storm. The extra iron acts like rust. It damages tissues, slows circulation, interferes with hormone production. Your energy plummets, your mood shifts, your desire dims. And once again, it doesn't feel like toxicity. It feels like you're just getting older. But that's not the truth. This story continues in the next chapter. And when we unpack how iron overload sneaks up on even the most health-conscious men, you'll see just how critical it is to rethink what's in your supplement drawer and what your body really needs. Iron overload doesn't announce itself with flashing lights or sirens. It builds slowly, silently, until one day your body just doesn't feel like yours anymore. This condition has a name: hemochromatosis, and it's far more common in men than in women. The reason is simple. Women have a natural monthly release valve for excess iron through menstruation. Men don't. And as testosterone levels decline with age, another key regulator of iron balance disappears. The result: a slow, relentless accumulation of iron that the body can't eliminate. And once that buildup begins, it acts like rust in your system, damaging cells, disrupting hormone levels, and choking off circulation. Your energy slips away, your mood darkens, your libido fades, and the worst part, it doesn't feel like toxicity. It feels like you're just running out of steam. Let's talk about Michael. Michael was a 68-year-old retired engineer, sharp, disciplined, a man who loved woodworking, gardening, and long walks with his wife. After a minor surgery, he began taking 65 milligrams of iron every day, thinking it would speed up his recovery and restore his energy. But weeks turned into months, and instead of feeling stronger, he felt worse, sluggish, tired, foggy, so he kept taking the supplement. Then came the joint pain. His skin took on a bronze hue. He stopped showing up for his hobbies. He became irritable, withdrawn, and forgetful. His relationship with his wife began to suffer, not out of neglect, but because something inside him was changing. Slowing down. Blood tests revealed the truth, his ferritin level. The measure of stored iron was a staggering 2,400. The normal range is 30 to 400. His transferrin saturation was 85%. Normal is 20 to 50. MRI scans confirmed what the blood had already shown. Iron was flooding his liver, pancreas, and heart. Michael wasn't lacking energy. He was drowning in iron. Over the span of 18 months, he had unknowingly consumed more than 23,000 milligrams of elemental iron just from a single supplement. Add in the iron from red meat, iron-fortified cereals, and multivitamins, and the total climbed even higher. He believed he was doing everything right. Like many people recovering from illness or a surgery, he wanted to support his healing, but his body had no way to flush out the excess. So it stored the iron deep in vital organs, where it began to cause damage he couldn't see. And here's why it gets worse with age. Your body's natural iron-regulating hormone hepcidin starts to weaken. Testosterone, another buffer, drops. Chronic low-level inflammation, common in older adults, signals your body to hoard even more iron. It's the perfect storm. But the real danger of iron overload isn't just the storage. It's what happens once it's there. Excess iron fuels a dangerous chemical reaction known as the Fenton reaction. This creates free radicals, unstable molecules that attack healthy cells like little sparks of internal fire. Over time, this oxidative stress damages tissues, disrupts blood flow, and interferes with hormone balance. The effects lower energy, foggy thinking, reduced sexual function, and none of it feels like a red flag. It just feels like life is slipping into a slower gear. So, how much iron do men over 60 actually need? Just 8 milligrams per day. But walk into any supplement aisle and you'll see bottles offering 1835, even 65 milligrams per serving. Stack that with a multivitamin and you've doubled it again. And many of these products include vitamin C, which dramatically increases iron absorption. Combine that with a diet rich in red meat or fortified grains, and your body gets flooded. Michael's labs confirmed it. His iron levels were 6 times above normal. By the time he received a proper diagnosis, the damage had already taken hold. His treatment, weekly blood removal. Every week for more than a year, he sat in a clinic as they took pints of blood to bring his iron levels back down. 14 months. And even then, some of the damage was irreversible. Michael called it the most ironic chapter of his life. "I thought I was being proactive," he said. "Instead, I ruined the years I was most looking forward to." The iron left its mark: permanent liver scarring, daily fatigue, reduced stamina, a decline in intimacy with his spouse, and a heavy emotional toll that no supplement could ever repair. Iron is powerful, essential, but in excess it becomes corrosive, slowly eating away at your energy, your circulation, your hormones, and your quality of life. And just when you think the dangers stop there, there's one more nutrient, one that's even more common, even more trusted, and it's quietly contributing to nerve damage, poor circulation, and hormonal disruption in nearly every corner of the body. The story continues with vitamin B6. Take a walk through any pharmacy aisle and you'll find it everywhere, vitamin B6. It's in multivitamins, nerve support, blends, energy drinks, and memory-boosting capsules. For years, B6 has been praised as a brain protector, a mood lifter, a nerve strengthener. And especially for men over 60, it's sold as a must-have for aging well. But behind the health claims and trusted packaging lies a hidden danger, one that millions of well-meaning health-conscious seniors never see coming. The assumption is simple: B6 is water-soluble. That means if your body doesn't need it, you just pee it out. No harm, no foul. It's a comforting belief, but it's dangerously misleading. Because B6, especially in high doses, can quietly damage your nervous system, not temporarily, not mildly, permanently. It's the only B vitamin known to cause irreversible nerve damage when taken in excess, and the damage doesn't come overnight. It builds up slowly, silently, especially if you're taking pyridoxine, the synthetic form of B6 found in most supplements. Over time, that synthetic compound saturates your tissues. Instead of supporting your nerves, it starts to break them down from the inside out. Here's a real example. A 72-year-old retired accountant began taking 100 milligrams of B6 every day. Why? Because he felt a mild tingling in his fingers, just a little numbness that concerned him. He figured B6 might help, especially since the bottle said it supported nerve function. But months later, that numbness turned into a painful burning in both hands and feet. His muscles weakened. Simple tasks like walking across the kitchen became a struggle. He felt unsteady, disconnected from his own body. Blood tests showed his B6 levels had soared to 896 nanomoles per liter, more than 4 times the upper normal limit. The diagnosis: axonal sensory neuropathy. His nerve fibers were literally dying, and the culprit, the very vitamin he believed was helping him. He hadn't been reckless, he was simply following the label. And that's the frightening part. Even 100 milligrams a day, which is just double the amount found in many over-the-counter products, was enough to cause lasting harm. In fact, studies show that toxicity can begin with as little as 25 milligrams a day when taken consistently over time. So, how does this happen? The danger of B6 lies in a specific biological breakdown. When you take large amounts of pyridoxine, it interferes with the enzyme your body needs to activate B6 into its usable form. That enzyme, pyridoxal kinase, gets blocked. So instead of processing B6, your tissues fill up with inactive compounds while starving for the real thing. This imbalance affects how your nerves transmit signals. Specifically, it disrupts GABA-A, key neurotransmitter that keeps your nerve impulses calm and stable. Without it, your nerves start to overfire, leading to a process called excitotoxicity. In simple terms, your nerves burn themselves out. The damage targets your peripheral nerves, the ones responsible for movement, sensation, and balance. It doesn't hit your brain directly, which makes it harder to recognize. Instead, you begin feeling vague symptoms: numbness, tingling muscle, weakness, unsteadiness on your feet. And that's where many people get misdiagnosed. Doctors may chalk it up to diabetic neuropathy, arthritis, spinal degeneration, or just normal aging. But the real culprit might be sitting quietly in your medicine cabinet packaged as something essential. The reason this damage is so hard to detect is that it doesn't follow a predictable timeline. Some people experience symptoms after 3 months of high-dose B6. Others don't see signs for 20 years. It creeps in slowly. First your fingers feel strange, then your toes, then your balance falters. Tasks that once felt effortless now demand conscious effort. The accountant in this story thought he was protecting his nerves. He trusted the product, the promise, the reputation. But after he stopped taking B6, his condition actually worsened before it improved. That's something doctors call coasting. Even after you stop the supplement, nerve damage from B6 toxicity can continue to progress for weeks or even months. It took this man over 1.5 years just to regain some strength in his hands, but his fingertips, they never fully recovered. A man who used to write heartfelt letters to his grandkids now struggles to hold a pen. It didn't have to be this way. In the US, the official safe upper limit for B6 is 100 milligrams per day. But recent research from Europe suggests the real safe limit may be as low as 12 milligrams. Why the difference? because scientists now know that damage can occur at much lower doses when the exposure is long-term. The recommended daily intake for adult men, just 1.7 milligrams. You can get that easily from food. Poultry, fish, potatoes, bananas. Whole foods your body recognizes and can process safely, but supplements. That's a different story. Many contain 25, 50, even 100 milligrams in a single pill. Add that to your multivitamin or energy drink and your daily intake skyrockets without you ever noticing. So here's what you need to do. Check every label. Multivitamins, energy blends, nerve support capsules. Look for pyridoxine hydrochloride, the synthetic form of B6. Add up the total milligrams. If you're getting more than 25 milligrams a day from all sources, it's time to cut back. Pay attention to warning signs, tingling, burning numbness, or a sudden drop in coordination. These are early indicators that your nerves may be under attack. Ask your doctor for a blood test to check your B6 levels. The normal range is between 35 and 200 nanomoles per liter. Anything above that should raise concern, especially if you're experiencing symptoms. And most importantly, shift your intake to whole foods. Let your nutrition come from sources your body understands. Fish eggs, legumes, leafy greens. They contain B6 in the right amounts in the right form, and with the natural balance your body needs to stay healthy. This isn't about fear, it's about awareness, and it's about protecting the vitality you've worked your whole life to build. In the final part of this series, we'll pull all the pieces together and show you how to rebuild your energy, restore circulation, and reclaim your sexual vitality, safely, naturally, and in harmony with your body. It took him nearly a year and a half to regain basic strength in his hands, but his fingertips, once steady and precise, never fully recovered. This was a man who used to handwrite letters to his grandkids. Now he struggles just to hold a pen, and he's not alone. In the U.S., the official upper safety limit for vitamin B6 is set at 100 milligrams per day. But new research from Europe tells a different story. Health authorities overseas have cut that number drastically to just 12 milligrams. Why such a wide gap? Because now we know something that wasn't clear before. Nerve damage from B6 toxicity can occur at much lower doses than previously believed. Not after years of megadoses, but from long-term exposure to what seemed like safe amounts. Most adult men only need about 1.7 milligrams of B6 per day. That's it. And you can get that easily from a well-balanced diet foods like chicken, fish, potatoes, and bananas. No pills required. Yet many supplements contain 25, 50, even 100 milligrams of B6 in a single capsule. Now stack that with a multivitamin or an energy drink, and your daily intake could quietly reach toxic levels without you ever realizing it. That's why it's time to check. Take every bottle in your cabinet, multivitamins, nerve repair formulas, energy blends, and read the labels. Look for pyridoxine hydrochloride or vitamin B6 as pyridoxal. Add up the total milligrams from all sources. If that number is more than 25 per day, it's time to scale back. Pay attention to the early signs your body might be sending. Tingling in your fingers or toes, a burning sensation, weakness in your grip, or an odd sense of imbalance. These are your nerves waving a red flag. Don't wait for the damage to deepen. Ask your doctor for a blood test to check your B6 levels. The normal range is between 35 and 200 nanomoles per liter. Anything higher than that should raise concern, especially if you're experiencing symptoms. But here's the good news. You can get the B6 your body needs safely and naturally from food. Poultry, seafood, bananas, spinach, sweet potatoes. These are nutrient-rich sources your body understands. Whole foods give you the right amount in the right form with the natural cofactors that help your body absorb and use them properly. Now take a step back and look at the bigger picture. We've talked about 4 nutrients today: vitamin D, vitamin A, iron, and vitamin B6. Each of them plays a critical role in your health. They're essential. Your body needs them. But here's the truth. It's not the nutrients that are the problem. It's how we're getting them. The issue lies in how these vitamins and minerals are delivered, isolated, concentrated, and stripped of their natural companions. When you take synthetic supplements in high doses, you override the body's delicate regulatory systems. You flood your cells with unbalanced compounds, and that's when damage begins. Your body doesn't recognize synthetic overload the same way it responds to food. It was never designed to process nutrients in isolation. Real food works differently. Nutrients in whole foods are packaged with enzymes, fiber, antioxidants, and supporting minerals. This synergy, this natural balance is what helps your body use nutrients the way it's meant to. Your gut knows how much to absorb, your cells know how to use it, and the rest it's simply passed through or recycled without harm. When you eat spinach, for example, your body doesn't absorb iron blindly. It takes what it needs, no more, no less. Helped along by the vitamin C and fiber already present in the plant. When you eat an egg, your body gets vitamin B12, choline, and healthy fats in harmony. This is nutrition that supports you without overwhelming you. Food also comes with natural safety mechanisms. The fiber slows digestion, the antioxidants protect your tissues, the ratios are already balanced. No megadoses, no shock to the system. That's how your body maintains physiological equilibrium. That's how it was designed to function. But supplements, especially when taken in high doses or stacked unintentionally, don't follow those rules. They overwhelm the system. Some nutrients begin to compete. Too much zinc can block copper, for example, throwing off your metabolism. Others accumulate in your liver, your tissues, your nerves, creating a slow toxicity you don't notice until it's already taken hold. This isn't a call to fear nutrients. This is a call to return to what your body recognizes and trusts. Food. It's not about eliminating vitamins from your life. It's about choosing the right form in the right dose at the right time. Whole food-based nutrition supports energy balance, mental clarity, and vitality without risking the long-term side effects that synthetic overload can bring. So as you move forward, take inventory not just of your supplement bottles, but of your approach to health. Trust your body's wisdom, nourish it the way nature intended, your energy, your circulation, your clarity, your strength. They don't have to fade with age, they just need the right foundation. When your body gets more of a nutrient than it can use, it doesn't just let it go, it stores it in your tissues, in your organs. And over time, that quiet buildup can spark inflammation, disrupt your natural systems, and lead to long-term damage. This isn't theory, it's science. And the message is clear: your body doesn't thrive on isolated chemical compounds squeezed into a capsule. It thrives on complexity, on synergy, on nutrients that come in their natural package whole foods that your cells can recognize, absorb, and actually use. So how do you fuel your energy, circulation, and sexual vitality without relying on synthetic supplements? Start here. This is your real-world guide to eating for strength, stamina, and a vibrant life. Especially after 60, for sustainable energy that lasts all day, turn to wild-caught fatty fish like salmon and mackerel. These are loaded with B vitamins, CoQ10, and omega-3s nutrients that energize your mitochondria, the tiny power plants inside your cells. Add grass-fed beef liver to the mix. It's one of nature's richest sources of iron, vitamin B12, and folate, all essential for healthy red blood cells and long-lasting stamina. Just a few ounces a week can make a difference. Don't forget organic eggs. They're packed with high-quality protein and choline, which support both brain and muscle function. Think of them as fuel for your focus and your physical resilience. And, of course, fill your plate with colorful vegetables, carrots, bell peppers, leafy greens. These plants provide fiber, slow-digesting carbs, and antioxidants that keep your energy levels steady and your inflammation low. To improve circulation, focus on foods that nourish your blood vessels. Start with dark leafy greens like kale and spinach. Natural sources of dietary nitrates that help relax and widen your blood vessels. This means better blood flow throughout the body, especially to areas where it matters most. Beets are another powerhouse. They boost nitric oxide levels, which support healthy circulation and can even lower blood pressure. Add roasted beets to your salad or smoothie for an easy win. Pomegranates deliver a rich dose of antioxidants that protect your arteries from oxidative stress. For full body health beyond 60, look to foods that support the systems most often neglected. Fermented foods like sauerkraut and kefir help improve gut health and increase vitamin K2, which supports bone strength and arterial flexibility. Bone broth is rich in collagen, essential for healthy joint, skin, and connective tissue. Organic berries, blueberries, raspberries, blackberries are packed with anti-aging antioxidants that protect your cells from oxidative stress. And herbs and spices like turmeric, ginger, and garlic aren't just flavor boosters. They're natural anti-inflammatories with centuries of use in traditional medicine and modern science alike. Every single nutrient found in those vitamin bottles already exists in food. But in food, they're paired with cofactors, enzymes, and fibers your body understands. That means better absorption, better balance, and fewer risks of overload. This approach, real food, real nutrients, isn't just safer, it's more powerful. It gives you back your energy, sharpens your circulation, and supports your vitality without the hidden dangers lurking in synthetic pills. Let this sink in as you rethink your relationship with supplements. Because real health doesn't come in a bottle, it comes from the choices you make at the table, from what you put on your plate, from how you honor your body's natural design. And here's the truth: if anything you've heard today hit close to home, it's not too late. Maybe your energy is dipped. Maybe your intimacy feels like a memory. Maybe you've accepted fatigue as just part of aging. But it doesn't have to be that way. You're not too far gone to feel alive again. You're not too old to reclaim your strength, your clarity, your connection. You can still take back control, one meal, one habit, one day at a time. This is what real health looks like: simple, nourishing, sustainable. This is what real vitality feels like, and this is what you deserve, always, at every age. In every season of life, the video ends here. Thank you so much for watching. Wishing you strength, energy, and vibrant health on your journey. If you found this helpful, give it a like, leave a comment, and let us know what change you're making today. Don't forget to subscribe and hit the notification bell so you never miss a new video from Healthy Hues Wellness. Take care and see you in the next one.